Star Wars only. I don't know what the fuck your problem is.
Mr. Plinkett finally comes out with a Star Wars Last Jedi review, and I mean, it's long overdue. I mean, this film came out in 2017 December, and it had countless videos made on it shortly after. So the highlight of this film is kind of dwindled, but whatever. Mr. Plinkett reviews always do well. I mean, it's been, what, a day? Maybe even two? I think it's only been, yeah, I think it's been two, and it's already almost at 1 million views. I wish I could do something like that. I can't wait for my channel to grow to anywhere close to something like that, but still, there's a lot of reviews dissing The Last Jedi. I made a lot of them. There's one really popular one that I like, why The Last Jedi is a cinematic failure or something like that. Really good video. You should check that out. A lot of people don't like this film. And Mr. Plinkett, states from the beginning that, talks about how there's already a lot of videos out there hating on this film and everything. And I was really concerned that this video wouldn't talk about anything we already hadn't talked about. The only reason it would be interesting is because it's Mr. Plinkett. But it covered a lot of things that we hadn't talked about. One of the things I said, of course, is that the film, was weird for me. There's a lot of comedy moments. But one thing I like about Mr. Plinkett's review is he makes it, he basically uses the analogy of that this film is a comedy. Like, it is, like, structured as a comedy, and people don't have obstacles to overcome in an adventure. They basically make mistakes that turn into, obstacles and just kind of them being stupid, and it makes it seem like a comedy because they screw up so much, it's comedic. And so, stuff like that, I had never thought about. I mean, I noticed, I made one video about how basically all the men in The Last Jedi are either evil, stupid, or cowards or something like that. Like, all the men were horrible, and they all made these stupid decisions and mistakes. And so, I had forgotten about that, but I didn't take it to the level that he took it, where it's basically structured as a comedy, and I completely agree with him on that. So, I really like this review. I've seen it 3 times. I think 2 of them I was high. Maybe 1 of them I was. I don't remember. I saw it 3 times. I don't remember the second or the first one. So I had to be pretty high. I'm high right now, making this video. So it's yeah. I mean, it's getting there. So yeah. No, I thought the review was good. There's some parts that he went into that I wish he would have gone a little more into depth with because whatchamacallit, the Luke thing. Luke's character arc, I hate that arc so much, and I really wish you would have talked a little more about that. Even the Canto Bight scene with Rose and Finn, maybe spend a little more time on that. But like I said, Plinkett doesn't go off of the stuff that we've all already talked about. He goes into different stuff, and that's what I like. But I do wish he would have gone into some of that stuff, because he does provide some good insight and everything, and I really was kind of lacking that in this movie. There's some good parts that I like. I posted one on Instagram on kind of like why The Last Jedi was a failure, on how it turned the black and white good versus evil original trilogy stuff into a muddled gray and everything. And I really like those kind of phrases from Mr. Plinkett, and those kind of in-depth emotional kind of stuff that really strikes the chord on why the new Star Wars isn't as good as the old stuff, and just kind of ruins a lot of what we liked about Star Wars. And a lot of people will talk about, how beautiful the film was made and how beautiful it looks. And Mr. Plinkett talks about that on, it looks great, but, it's still shit. And he talks a lot about Rian Johnson, which is, comedic and whatnot. And it's very accurate on, Rian Johnson does seem like a smart guy, but it also seems like he just bit off more than he could chew, failed miserably at it, and he talks about how he wanted to subvert our expectations and want us to give us something we weren't expecting, but basically turn it into like a troll and everything. A lot of the stuff that people would say about this movie subverting my expectations, especially Rian Johnson, Mr. Plinkett covers that accurately. It subverted my expectations on how shit it was. I mean, when I went in and I saw Luke throw the lightsaber, stuff like that, it's comedic, and it's also like, that's just not Luke. You can do it with another character, I don't care, but you don't ruin Luke. And I don't mind you switching up the character. I'm like, oh, that's a little different. Or changing my expectations. I didn't want Luke to come back and beat the First Order with the lightsaber and everything. He's like 67 years old. I don't want to see that. But I did want to see a powerful Luke, a Luke that is reminiscent of the original trilogy and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things you wanted to see, and of course you weren't going to see. And Rian Johnson took it to a whole nother level. And so, overall, this review was not as good as the Phantom Menace one. Probably not even as good as the Attack of the Clone ones. That was pretty bad too. But, well, the movie, not the review. This is a better Plinkett review, though. And this is far better than The Force Awakens and everything. I'm content with this review. I wish they would still kind of go a little more into the heart of Star Wars, because, especially with the whole Luke thing, and what a lot of people felt like social justice warrior crap was going on in the movie. I wish they would have gone a little more into depth on that, because that seems more interesting to us right now because we all talk about it at the time. But also, like I said, Mr. Plinkett gives really good, insightful stuff that I wish he would focus more on, that he kind of focused on with the prequel trilogy. But with the sequel stuff, it's not like he's, letting up. It just feels like they're losing the magic touch. But that's just me. If I had to give this review a score, which is funny, reviewing a review of a movie that I hate, but if I had to give this review of a score, I'd have to give it an 8 out of 10. And ironically over episode 8, but it is a very content review. It's enjoyable. I highly recommend you watch it. It's one of those reviews that's not entirely biased or anything, and that's one thing I like about Red Letter Media. They cover it from a film aspect, and I really like it. So comment your thoughts below. What do you guys think about the Star Wars Plinkett reviews? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Why do you like them? Why do you hate them? And do you agree with what Mr. Plinkett says? I'm Star Wars Only. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you all next time. May the Force be with you always.